Today I want to talk about one of last Sunday's lessons, but this one was not used in the service. It's from 1 John chapter 4, verses 7 through 21. When I was a kid, I went to church with my parents. I tried to listen and make sense of what I heard in church. That was a long time ago. Now, I have 4 kids, all grown into terrific adults. Oh, my, what questions they asked as kids. Daddy, how does this work? Dad, why is the moon up there? You'd think they were going to grow up to be reporters. They were forever asking who, what, where, when, why, and how. Well, today as I was reading this from John, let us love one another because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. And then, since God loved us so much, we also ought to love one another. And the reading goes on. If we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is perfected in us. And a little further it says, God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. When I read that, I could hear my kids from long ago. Dad? Yes. What's it mean? God is love. And those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. After a long pause, Dad? And then I said, well, the word abide really has a lot of meanings. I think in this case, it's like on a cold winter night, God surrounds us like a warm, soft blanket your mom or dad drapes around you while you're watching TV. And then your little brother snuggles up in the blanket with you. Just as you're thinking, life can't be any better than this. A cup of velvety hot chocolate is placed in your hands and in the hands of your little brother. It's just the right temperature to sip, and you feel the glow all the way down to your big toe. The voice of the one who wrapped the blanket around you and placed the hot chocolate in your hands whispers, I love you. I think that might be an example of abiding love. Being surrounded from outside in and from inside out by someone who loves you no matter what. Abiding love could be the kind of love my brothers and I have for each other. When I was 4 years old, Mom took my toy pliers from me for pinching my younger brother's nose with them. I just wanted to see if they worked. Even though I hurt him, when we talk, our parting words are always, I love you, brother. I have a scar on my chin as a result of my other little brother hitting me with a sharp stick. Today, when I shave my chin, I have a reminder of that brother and that I love him. Yes, love for each other abides in us, lives in us, and our conversations always end with, I love you, brother. My hope for you is that, like my kids did, you grow into adults who still search for the answers to who, what, where, when, why, and how. And like my brothers, you say to your family, I love you. Well, I do have a different kind of project for you this week. Yep, you may need a bit of help from an adult because it will involve someone else. I'm going to give you an example of the project. Then you should ask an adult to suggest who would be appropriate to be the someone else for your project? All right, here is today's project. Now, because I'm an adult and you probably are not, and because of COVID restrictions, you might want to restrict this someone else to help you with your project to someone from your own household. It might even be someone you occasionally have a squabble with, and I suggest that that might even be a parent or perhaps a brother or a sister. All right, here's the project. We start off by finding a mirror. An example. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, John, I love you. I love you. Now, why on earth would I want you to do that? Well, the reason is, if we don't love ourselves and take care of ourselves, it's very difficult to love someone else. And it makes it even more difficult for other people to love us. It really does. So, here's the rest of the project. You gather your someone or someones that are going to help you, and you ask everybody to sit at a table. It doesn't have to be a table, but sit across from each other at a table. And then you look at each other right in the eye, and you say their name. I love you. And then you just shut up. At this time, it is okay. You just be quiet after you say that. And then get in the habit of saying to those that are dear to you, I love you. It'll make a tremendous difference in your life. I hope you have a great week.